Hello, my fellow donkeys, and welcome back to another Cairocraft video. Today, I have recreated the Torre Moeve skyscraper in the city of Madrid in the country of Spain. This is a very tall office building located in the Cuatro Torres Business Center, a line of four different skyscrapers, all of which are among the tallest in Spain. In fact, this skyscraper I've built just so happens to be the second tallest skyscraper in the country. I very underestimated the absolute size of this place. As you can tell, right now this is the tallest skyscraper in this map. The first one to even go over the clouds. This thing is so tall, I actually got scared that this would go over the height limit. Speaking of first, this is also the first skyscraper in this map that's not from North America. Our first European skyscraper, our first skyscraper from Spain, and our first skyscraper with a big ol' hole in it, which is a feature that I'll explain later in the video. So this place was built in 2008 and was originally called the Torre Repsol, as it was supposed to be the headquarters for an oil and gas company called Repsol, YPF. However, as it was under construction in 2007, it was purchased by Caja Madrid, a banking company, so they owned that building for a while after it was completed. It was then owned by another oil and gas company called Cepsa, and the tower was known as Torre Cepsa. And then finally, Cepsa was renamed to Moeve, and now it's known as Torre Moeve. This tower was designed by the architect Norman Foster, and I feel has this very interesting design in my opinion. The building has this very cool shelving design kinda, where these groups of floors are separated into three different sections. I don't actually know what the floors in the parts that divide these are, however. Yeah, probably used for utility purposes or something else, so for now there's nothing really in there. However, I did add stuff to the main floors, basically just some office cubicles, a few seating arrangement, and a couple of meeting rooms in each floor. Another first is that this place has staircases that go up and down the skyscraper. Might take a while for you to get from the bottom to the top floor though. However, there are still four elevator shafts you can take, and then all the way down on the first floor is the lobby area. Very spacious and minimalistic with these big screens on both sides. This was without a doubt the easiest lobby area I've done so far because of how small it is. Like, there really isn't that much stuff over here, and then outside on this very corner of the base, there's this random glass art sculpture that I didn't really do any research on when building this. However, I did look up some pictures of it, and it kind of looks cool. Like, you got these two skinny things here and stuff. Kind of random, but still neat to see. So you'll notice on the top of this skyscraper is a giant opening that, not gonna lie, kind of makes this tower look like a funky bottle opener. So there's actually a lot of buildings throughout the world that have this kind of design, and this is definitely not going to be the only building in this map that'll have something like this. A lot of skyscrapers, usually the super tall ones, have this sort of opening, mainly as a way to counter a high wind so it doesn't topple over or sway back and forth really hard. It also makes the skyscrapers look super epic. Unfortunately, I don't know what's inside the handle, like very top floors above the opening. I think it's most likely just for utility purposes, like the dividing floors from earlier. So, just like those, I wasn't able to build any interiors, unfortunately. However, this roof does have a lot of details, such as piping, vents, doors, and a bunch of other stuff. And then I do want to note that I placed this whole thing right up against the end of this road here. I thought this would look really cool here. So like you'll have a bunch of buildings side to side when going up this road. And then at the very end is this super tall skyscraper that's taller than any of the other ones over here. Thought it'd look super awesome to see. Anyways, I think that's all I want to talk about for this Torre Moeve recreation. Sorry if I butchered any words here. I think this might be my favorite structure in this map so far, but this is only the third video here on this big ol' city project, so there's definitely going to be a lot more stuff built here in the future that might change my opinion. So keep on the lookout for new videos from here by subscribing to my channel. If you want to see any updates on any upcoming buildings here or on new maps, suggest stuff to be added or changed, or if you want to showcase your own builds in Minecraft, then check out the Cairocraft community Discord server down in the description below. Or if you want, you can also put in your thoughts or any constructive criticism in the comments section. Also, if you haven't watched it yet, you can also check out my last video on this map, which was on the Westin Bonaventure Hotel in Los Angeles. That's all I want to say for now. Bye bye!